Hello friends, in the previous lecture we have discussed about the various parts of PLC, that is input module, processor, output module, power supply and external part as a programming device. Now as we have discussed, the function of input module is to sense the signal from the with the help of sensing devices and get the signal to the input module, then send the signal to the CPU. Now, what is exactly inside the input module that we are going to discuss in this lecture? So, how to make the connection of the input module? So, for that input module, your one line is common, reference is common. All the devices which are going to be connected or the sensors which are connected to the input module must have the same voltage level. This is the basic requirement. That may be your push button, that may be your temperature sensor, that may be your pressure sensor, whatever the sensor you are going to use, all the sensor must have be operated at the same voltage level or they will give you the same output. These outputs are connected to your input module. Now what is inside the input module that we are going to discuss? So this is basically a typical connection of your input module. Your input module is like this one. Okay, so this is the input module for 16 inputs. So this is the common terminal of DC. Okay, this is a 24 volt DC input module. All the field devices which are giving signal to the input module must be operated at 24 volt DC and they have to give the supply of 24 volt DC as an input supply to the input module. If I want to connect a switch on the terminal number 0, that is input 0, remember the input or output for the PLC will start from 0. Okay, so 0 to 15 means it is the 16 input module. Okay, so this input module will show over here. These are the status LED. On the input module there are status LED. Now when this switch is closed, the input is available for this pin, and based on your program logic with respect to that input, your output may get energized or de-energized. Okay, so this second input is the push button which is connected to the input number 4. Then this one is your limit switch which is connected to the input number 8. This is your again a limit switch which is connected to the input number 12. Now if you are going to see what is the common, the negative terminal is connected to the common terminal. Okay, and only one terminal from these devices are connected to the terminals on the respective terminal block. Now if we are going to consider this one, so for each and every input inside the input module there is such type of circuitry. Say if you are going to consider IN0, input number 0, so for the IN0 this circuitry is there inside the input module. So if you are going to consider AC input module, now AC input module may be work at 120 volt or 230 volt AC. So if you are going to consider 120 volt AC input module, then this is my AC connection supply, phase and neutral. So when this push button is pressed, the input signal is given to the input module. So after pressing this input signal, the input signal is available up at IN0. So it is your IN0. So as we know that my CPU will only works on DC supply, so I need to convert that AC signal into DC signal. So for that purpose I am going to use a bridge rectifier which will convert AC signal into DC signal. Then I am going to use the Zener diode level detection. Okay, then I am going to use the optical isolator which will isolate the input circuit from the processor circuit, and then you have the logic circuit and status indicator, and then this 5 volt signal is given to the processor. In the next diagram we will discuss in detail. So a discrete input module is like this one. So this is your 110 volt or it may be 230 volt supply. Okay, a fuse is required placed for the protection purpose. This is your input device. My input device second terminal is connected to the input module terminal strip. Now when this button is pressed, at that time the signal will reach over this one. From this the signal will go to this one. Now what is the function of this R1? R1 will step down the signal or reduces the voltage level. Okay, so from 230 volt or 110 volt, this resistor will reduces the voltage level to the required voltage level. Then there is a R2 again. So the function of these two is act as a filter over there, RC filter. Then this is the bridge rectifier. This bridge rectifier will convert AC signal into DC signal. Now once the your signal is converted into the DC, that DC signal is given to the opto isolator circuit. Okay, so opto isolator circuit consists of a LED and a phototransistor. Now when the input signal is available, at that time the LED will glow, and when the LED will glow, it will emit the light, and that light falls on the photo transistor. Once the when the light falls on the phototransistor will conduct, and it will activate the digital logic circuit or give you the 5 volt to the processor, or the output of this one is 5 volt. To this we have connected the LED status indicator. This LED status indicator will glow. It is showing that the input 1 is now available. If we have the 16 input module, then it has such type of 16 circuitry inside this one. So this is basically a function of or internal structure of the AC input module. You can remember one thing over there, the common terminal L2 is the common terminal for all one. Say here it is my input 1, here I2, I3, I4, I5, I6 up to this one. Okay, for all these the common terminal is same. A single common is used for all this. So the most important thing that you have to take care is that if your input module is for 120 volt AC, you need to connect all the input devices which will operate at 120 volt AC. You are not supposed to use a combination of 120 volt AC and 230 volt AC over there. Similarly, AC input modules and DC input modules are different. We are not supposed to mix AC and DC input on the single module. This is the precaution you need to take.